Welcome to the Empowering Industry Podcast, a production from Empowering Pumps and Equipment as the voice of the pump and related equipment industries. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Empowering Industry Podcast. I'm your host, Charli Matthews, and like every week, I am here with some amazing guests. I am excited about it. I'm ready to share the story, and we do have a lot coming up. When you hear this podcast coming out, I'll be making my way to Germany for IFAT, so I'm really excited about that and just the journey to see Vince over in Italy on my way back. So there's a lot there. So y'all ask me about it if you hear the podcast. But get ready for a great episode. I'll start with you, Brad. They know you from a past podcast episode, but reintroduce yourself and just let people know kind of who you are and how you got into this pump industry.
Okay. Hey, everybody. I am Brad Hitselberger. I am the Business Development Manager on the municipal side. So similar to Arjun, Arjun does commercial. I handle our municipal sector and cover the United States and Canada. And I got into the pump industry at another manufacturer about like 7 years ago. So really early in my career, I was fortunate to hop right in on the equipment side of it. And then I started out in the municipal side, and then I kind of went to the industrial and commercial side. And now when I started working for Industrial Flow Solutions at the start of January 2022, now I'm back on the municipal side, and I really, really enjoy it.
Awesome. Arjun, what about you?
Hey, everybody. So my background started off with the submersible pump industry really from 2013. Background from engineering, again, was doing a lot of product development, was a manufacturing engineer at a submersible pump company out of the West Coast. And then joined Stancor, which is now part of Industrial Flow Solutions. This is back in 2016. Working varied roles, applications engineer, and then moved on as utility sales engineer manager, and now kind of focus on commercial and utilities for North America. So really excited to join you guys and talk about pumps. So
yeah, that's the best thing we can talk about on this podcast. I love to say that I love the pump industry, and we know that it has more than pumps in it, but pump talk is my favorite. But what we're going to start with, Brad, let's talk about the trends that you're seeing in the municipal sector.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fortunate enough with this company, I get to travel throughout the country. So I get to talk to a lot of people with different experience and, consultants, some of the utility maintenance people. And when it comes to, talking to the people that are doing a lot of the work on the municipal side, working in the wastewater collection network is they want to be able to have data, because there's a lot of limited resources that that I've seen out there. There's not enough people in our industry that are young, and there's people retiring. So they need to have the limited resources they have stretched as much as they can. So what I've kind of seen over the past 2 years is there's been like a drive towards data, because we hear a lot about funding and stuff as well, federal funding that comes in, but they still have limited amount of budget. And when emergencies happen, they want to be able to have data to arm themselves to avoid those catastrophes that they're not prepared for in their budget. So one of the big things I think on the horizon is definitely just getting the digitalization of what's going on in the pump world, what's going on with their network and their asset in general.
And what does that look like? How are we, putting that system together?
There's a lot of sensors and instrumentation that you can put together with the pump. I think as we progress Industrial Flow Solutions, we've become more than just a pump manufacturer. We've tried to do that intelligence behind the pumps, and that's kind of what we've done with a lot of merging of our brands. We have a few different brands, and they all can come together as one and provide all those power analytical data that you really need to look at in order to do preventive maintenance and be on top of knowing what's going on with your system. So being able to trigger alarms and trigger trips to pumps before things can be catastrophic to your equipment is something huge. And that's something that we're trying to do, and we're doing it with very, very good success with our Clearwater and other brands. So it's been awesome.
Okay, great, great. And so it's that full SCADA system of, communication, right? All these
Yeah,
different pieces and different tools have to communicate with each other so that we can get the
right.
data to make informed
Yeah.
decisions. Got it.
It's
Okay.
it's all just one big talking the same language. They want to talk, with that in the municipal sector. I typically see Modbus a lot, and people want to talk with that Ethernet connectivity. So I see that a lot out there, and we're able to provide that with a lot of our platforms.
Okay, awesome. All right, Arjun, don't worry, I'm coming to you. What are the trends that you see in that commercial space?
A lot of, adding on to what Brad said, a lot of, and I would say the shift in the last 10 years, the last decade, uh, it's all about data. It's all about data and how you can interpret data to manage your systems better, right? Again, it's monitoring and also preemptive maintenance. So before a catastrophic event happens, you're trying to understand the diagnostic of your system, which is, understanding how many times your pump ran, for example. Is there a clog in your system? Is there an overload trip that could occur that could potentially cause a flooding situation? So it's really understanding these metrics and how they get translated to as viable data for an operator to take an action. So in the commercial sector, I know Brad mentioned SCADA and Modbus. In the commercial sector, it's a lot BACnet. BACnet MS over TP and BACnet IP has been huge. BACnet as a technology was big in the mechanical side, HVAC side, and now you're seeing a lot of submersible pump manufacturers and control systems that actually offer BACnet as a tool to kind of take those signals, which are typically dry contacts, as output signals, as inputs to your BACnet gateway. So, for example, a commercial building can look at all of your network's assets on a single dashboard and understand that, your parking garage sump or your building sump in floor two has failed or needs maintenance. So, on the commercial sector, again, you're seeing a lot of BACnet being in play.
Okay, so one of, the questions, and of course, this kind of leads us to should be probably your favorite. What do y'all offer, right? How do you at IFS help solve these problems, and what are you seeing out there in the field? Brad, I'll let you start.
Yeah. Well, it's great. So up in New Haven, where we manufacture the pumps right in America, which is great, we also have that custom panel shop. So we're able to offer a lot of those packages together instead of just sending out a pump where someone can't get a lot of insights into it. By merging our pumps, our submersible lines, our Overwatch, that has a lot of really cool logic inside of it. The background of it and the real brains is that control panel. And since we're able to manufacture that in-house, when it comes to custom controls, people might want to see custom digital inputs and digital outputs and analog inputs and outputs to be able to react. We're able to work with our team and on the control side and on the pump side and merge them together. So I think that puts us at a really good advantage of having both of those in-house, being able to do that.
Awesome. Arjun, have anything to add?
Absolutely, yes. So Industrial Flow Solutions again is we have a controls division which is UL 508A and a UL 698A approved shop, allowing us to manufacture controls for these pump systems. They call a control panel kind of the heart of the system, right? So that essentially allows your pump to operate and also be able to relay those signals back to your main control system, your distributed control system. And some of the options that we offer are BACnet, MS over TP, BACnet IP, SCADA Modbus, and we want to be a partner that allows our systems to communicate to cloud and web-based services as well, right? So a full suite of offering to be able to integrate with your network on the end user side.
Okay. And, over the years, I've heard this many times actually, but the intelligent pumping solutions, what is that for our listeners? Can you go into it and just kind of explain a little bit from your perspective?
I can start off, and Arjun, you can help me out if there's anything I forget. But we typically try to look at it like in like 5 or 6 different levels, with like the beginning level being, hey, you just have floats that actuate the pump. And then, the next level up is a pump controller that's able to react in different ways based on what it's seeing, maybe what's coming down the collection network. Because maybe it needs to go into reverse, because as we know, wastewater, the composition of wastewater is not always just wastewater. There's things that people are putting down the toilet that should not be there. So we're not just pumping wastewater. We need to be able to react without human intervention, but also send that data back out. But then when you get to the highest level, that's where what we're getting into with industrial flow solutions. It's that full based pulling all the analytical data that we were able to provide with our little modular Clearwater deragger devices and letting them do full optimization, essentially, is I guess the easiest way I can explain it. Is that pretty good, Arjun?
I think so. Yes, you touched on some of the key points, which is we want to be able to be the data center, right? So essentially, collect all key metrics from your pumping station, and relay that back to your control system. So that allows operators to take an action on, right? So again, it can be a cloud-based system, it can be a system that's homegrown for that specific utility or customer, and we want to be able to provide the hardware that bridges the gap between your signals and actually seeing that metric on a dashboard.
Awesome. And I think we're going to be able to see that at IFAT, which I'm really excited about. I know Vince was just overseas and got to see some of your team and see kind of the display that's going to be there. But let's talk a little bit about that. What are y'all going to be showing at IFAT? I'm super excited about being over there to see.
Me and Arjun are both going to be there. We're super excited. So if anyone's gone to WEFTech and has seen us at WEFTech, we have a live demo loop and we have our control panel there. And actually, so we'll be doing demonstrations throughout the whole week, and I hope everyone can stop by and see us. But on the control panel, when we're talking about some of this stuff, on that HMI screen that we have, which is our Deragger Pro with our Overwatch, I'll be able to go in there and show exactly some of the data that I'm talking about. And you can go in there and drill down on the control panel's screen and see exactly what's been going on for the past week, the past month, the past year, because it takes a rolling average window of data. And you can look at the starts it's done, the amperage it's pulling, the kilowatts consumed, the data that people care about. So that's all going to be on display there as far as our Overwatch, and our submersible line Drano is going to be there as well. They're based out of Italy, so that's going to be huge news. And then some commercial products that I'll let Arjun touch on.
Yeah, so we're also going to be showcasing our oil minder product line. So the oil minder is a unique product in our portfolio of pumps and control systems. So kind of in a 30,000 feet view, the oil minder comprises of a submersible pump with a control system that discerns between oil and water. So essentially it's used for secondary containment, right? So in utilities, electric utilities, we use oil minders for containing transformer oil from being spilled out to lakes and waterways. And on the commercial side, we use oil minder systems in elevator walls where you could have oils from hydraulic elevators kind of bleed into that sump. So essentially, this system prevents oil from being discharged and discharges water from that sump. So we'll be showcasing a couple of options. We're actually excited about launching a new oil minder board, which is going to be a generation 3. That board will also have a daughter PCB unit that has capabilities like BACnet inbuilt. So you no longer need to have a separate BACnet protocol. It's going to be a modular unit that snaps right onto a board to kind of have that same form and functionality of a generation 2, and it's backward compatible, right? So all these systems that, again, we've had generation 2 for about 20 years now, and generation 1 was designed early 90s. So really excited about generation 3 coming out with these modular features.
Awesome. So excited to be there. So that's in Munich, Germany at IFAT. We'll put the link to that for sure. So y'all can, if you're in the area, absolutely stop by. If you're, undecided, go ahead. There's a lot to see and join us. We are actually, the Empowering Pumps and Equipment team will have 2 operators competing in the water skills. So they'll be wearing the Empowering Pumps and Equipment brand, and we'll be able to, cheer and support them. They're the ones, working on the pumps, making sure that we have them, and running the way that they should, but also they're going to be doing it in a competitive way to see who can do it the fastest, which is always fun, right? So y'all definitely check that out if you have time to stop by and see the water skills competition. They will be there on Monday at noon, kind of as the amateurs get to kind of come in and compete. So I'm like, I don't know, is that something I can jump in on? I know they do that at Ops Challenge at WebTech. So y'all, just take a look at that, see how you can get plugged in, and definitely stop by and see all the amazing people that are going to be at the IFS booth, checking it out. I can't wait. I loved y'all's display at WebTech. It was amazing. So can't wait to see what you do there in Germany. Anything else y'all want to add before we jump off?
I know where we'll be at IFAT. So it's Hall B1, stand 301. It's my first time going, so I know it's really big. And I want to make sure that everybody knows where we're at in case they get lost out there.
Yes, and so just go ahead and circle it. This is the area that you need to come to where the pumps are, where we want to learn about the system and the control panels. And you just meet a great team that is doing some amazing things and has wonderful leadership on their team as well.
Oh, yeah.
So looking forward to getting to see y'all in person, and safe travels, and we'll see you there. Until next time, everybody, be empowering.